I don't know, there's, like, I feel like she's got a soul, you know? And sometimes it's almost like the universe telling us.
Well, the universe told us about 20 times.
We just didn't listen.
Yeah. Yeah, the universe definitely did not want us to be there for whatever reason. Maybe, you know, maybe it was God protecting us. Maybe there was like something that was going to happen. Have an accident on the way out there or something. So where are we going, Deb?
Nowhere. To the Beaman Builders community. Obviously, we are not in Idaho. We were supposed to be at the Daily Driven event right now. They are actually hitting the dyno as we are filming this right now. And unfortunately, we are still in the shop. We wanted to make a video showing you guys exactly what happened. We like to be as transparent as possible with what goes on here in the shop. Needless to say, we are very disappointed. This was going to be the first time that we hit nitrous. After working,
and she was so ready, so ready.
After the entire week of literally Wes being in the garage till 3 a.m. most nights, and then the night before being up until 7 a.m., going on 2 hours of sleep after getting everything ready and loaded in the RV and the truck and everything, we are very disappointed, frustrated, sad, and mostly just because we were so excited to see so many of you guys. What happened?
Well, let's go all the way back to why I was up till 3 a.m. every day this week. So, side piece has been leaving a little bit on the table, and I know that. I know what she should be able to do, and we haven't been able to hit it. So I was kind of going through things with a fine-tooth comb. Every time you have a new build, there's always little things you got to go back and recheck, redo, update, change, whatever. So one of the things I was noticing is we've been fighting some drive pressure issues, and I was thinking we should go to a bigger manifold charger, which I still want to do. So I even took the time to powder coat and Cerakote a new turbo. This was a 8096 turbo that I was going to put on. Got it used specifically because it already had this flange on it, and that's what I need to mate up to my compound system. Well, this fitting was too short to work with my current piping, and I didn't have time to create a new piping kit, so we had to scrap that. So we went, even though I did a whole bunch of work to get that turbo in, went back to our normal setup, our 7287 setup, using a much bigger 125 housing to help with those drive pressure issues. So after that, we went and did some testing on boost leaks, and I actually found two pretty major boost leaks. So I was doing the boost leak check because I just welded on 2 new bungs for the nitrous system, which was the other fun upgrade for this one. But I was checking specifically, do my bungs leak? We got that handled. However, I found that my the gauge that I have for my boost, the line that feeds that was actually leaking a ton. So I got that fixed. And then the shelf bolts on this had come loose a little bit, so I had to tighten those up as well. So with those 2 boost leaks handled, that represents a lot of boost that I was losing. And maybe that was part of the drive pressure issue. The turbo's driving harder than I would expect and not producing the boost because we're actually just venting a bunch of it to atmosphere. We also had an issue with my wastegate. My wastegate has been not leaking bad, but it's been leaking around the flange, just wasn't sealed properly. So Troy, my son, helped me get that done.
My son, huh? Not our son.
Our son.
I feel like I did the heavy lifting on that one.
I don't know. Some would argue that I did the most work. Dealing with you for 9 months is wonderful opportunity. All these things were just kind of compounding to be an amazing, amazing event. Not only a fuel-only hit, but our very first nitrous hit. And we were so excited for it. So we ended up getting everything done, like I said, grinding all week long, 3 in the morning, 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. Bridger over at Industrial was nice enough to help us out with some time on their dyno, actually after hours. So it's like, when the shop was closing down, getting in there to try and get some test hits.
And I'll tell you what, She's never sounded so good.
Last time we were dynoing there, they're like, yeah, basically never spin on these rollers. Only the crazy high horsepower trucks ever spin on these rollers. And we got all strapped down, rolling into the run, and the truck came up on boost like that, like faster than it ever has. It almost startled me because I was getting it up on boost, getting ready to start the run, and I had to like really quickly like give him the sign that I'm ready to start the load. So about as quick as I could get on it to say, yeah, start the run, I was already at like 35 pounds of boost, and I normally started at 25 pounds of boost. And I gave her, and it just ripped all the way through the RPM super fast. So come to find out, we actually were just smoking the tires on the dyno. We ended up not getting a number because we were spinning so bad. And she just sounded nasty, like absolutely ready to party. And at that moment, I was really excited. I actually jumped out of the truck to go look at the screen, only to find out we didn't get a number.
We ran over there and we were looking at the numbers and, you know, joking around with them, and I turn around and I heard a sound, and Wes and I like look at each other and it's like, is that you? Like, is that sound coming from you? We thought that there were people still in the shop. It was after hours, but you know, we didn't know if they were like clanking things around.
Initially, I wasn't really startled because I thought it was them unstrapping and restrapping, because it was like clink, 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 clink. And I was like, oh, they're probably just restrapping the truck. And I was looking over my run in the log, and then it started getting louder and louder, and I popped out and I put my head by the hood, and I could immediately tell it was me. It was like the engine that was having an issue. So we shut down the truck. Everyone else at that point, so starting to get loud, kind of gathered around the hood of the truck. And checked over, like oil, make sure there's nothing leaking, checked the oil to make sure that we didn't get any water in it, maybe we had a gasket issue or something like that. Everything looked fine, oil looked fine. So I fired it back up and checked for blow-by, nothing there. And then Chase over there at Industrial pretty much tagged it immediately. He's like, I think your converter bolts are coming loose.
Yeah, converter or flex plate, one of the two. I could hear it back there. I was like...
So we shut her down. We were only able to get that one run in. Pulled it up on the trailer, and we're like, well, it looks like we're pulling an all-nighter to get this flex plate swapped out, because we thought the flex plate would have been ruined. So we brought it home, and we started pulling the trans. I managed to break the shift linkage cable while we were pulling the trans. More to come on that soon.
If you look... I've kind of touched this a little too much, so now it's hard to see, but you can see all these witness marks, and I don't know if you can see that up there. See all that red? So this thing, like every single one of these bolts was so loose I could have taken them out with my hand. I put them in, torqued them past spec with red Loctite, and they literally just vibrated themselves loose. So we're going to re-torque all of these. Hopefully we can get them tight enough that they can't go anywhere, because that is definitely our problem now. So we'll re-torque them. This is a 12-bolt flex plate and a 12-bolt converter, so I'm going to get all 12 in this time. Hopefully this thing actually stays in.
We had people traveling from very far away to be there. Somebody I promised to ride in the truck, and I want to make sure I live up to those promises. So if the engine was gone, I couldn't possibly rebuild an engine overnight. So it's like this, no big deal. We'll be up a few more hours. I'll tighten everything up. We will use all of the Loctite in the freaking universe. And we'll make sure she's ready. And we'll go smack a number at daily driven. The truck, I can tell you right now, I have dynoed this truck probably 30 times. And it's the fastest it has ever come up on boost. And it is the absolute rowdiest it has ever been down low. So I know we were about to make a gnarly number, and I can't wait to do it at Daily Driven and kind of, play with the big boys a little bit. Be fun.
So many of you guys were probably on the live with us. Obviously, we were worried whether it was the flex plate or the torque converter bolts, and luckily, it looked like it was the torque converter bolts. But by the time we shut down the live, I think it was 1 o'clock in the morning. And what people don't understand is we were actually up until like 7 a.m.
Oh yeah, getting the trans back in and stuff. Yeah, and we got super lucky that we stopped it so soon. It like just had started, so like the flex plate was still totally fine. There's no like the bolt holes weren't damaged in any way, shape, or form. So we put it all back together. We like Loctited the living crap out of it. All 12 bolts in. I do have a 12 bolt flex plate, 12 bolt converter. Put all 12 bolts in, cinched it down as tight as I possibly could, and I was just absolutely sure we were ready to send it. So one of the things that happened when I was pulling the trans is I actually broke the plastic clip that holds the shift selector cable into the housing, and I had to kind of jerry rig something up with that. So fired the truck, and I started revving it up a little bit, and Deb reminded me very politely that we have neighbors and it's 5 in the morning on a Friday, not exactly cool. So we shut it down, but it was running, no bad sounds, everything was good to go.
We thought we had it solved by like 7 a.m.
Yeah.
We ended up going to bed. It was light outside already. We ended up waking up at like 9:30, so we got a solid 2.5 hours of sleep after your week long of going to bed at 3 and waking up at 6. So we get up and we have a long list of things to do. So we're trying to go through the RV, trying to get it all loaded. Our daughter Brooklyn went out to the grocery store and got everything for us for food-wise, drink-wise, and everything to try to help us out, because we were supposed to be doing that the day before and not fixing a truck all night and loading up all the stuff for the booth. Everything was loaded up.
And mind you guys, like, this is a new to us RV. It actually came from my mom. And we don't know how to operate it really. It's like I'm learning it. We actually have a video posted of our very first drive around the block in it. But so the day consisted of, yes, loading the RV, but like, does it have everything we need? Do we have linens? How does the generator work? How does the water work? How do we fill the water? How do we drain the water? So I was going through everything, like doing a pre-trip inspection and also understanding how everything works. So when we get up to this RV park, we know how to plug it in and do all that fun stuff. Make sure the AC works. We worked our butt off all day, and finally it was like to the point where the RV was loaded, truck was loaded, and I was actually to the point I'd done a full once over on side piece, top and bottom, made sure everything was tight, made sure everything was good, filled up the nitrous bottles, loaded those in, test purged them, like we are good to go, let's get this thing on the trailer. Well, go to get on the trailer, Deb was actually pulling it up on the trailer, and she was like, I have it floored, it's like not going. And it was just kind of like, rocking up on the trailer, just didn't have any power. So, checking underneath, and I ended up like manually making sure it was all the way in drive and stuff like that, with that cable being an issue.
It honestly felt like it was in neutral. Like that's what I
like,
had it absolutely floored.
Like not all the way neutral, like, because it was still going forward.
Yeah,
right?
but I'm just saying, like, it didn't have, like, there was no power to the wheels.
So went under. We did have full power in reverse, just no real power going forward. Looked over a few things. Made sure the shift linkage was in where it was supposed to be, like it was actually in drive, and we actually checked second and first as well. We're having the same results. So the concern is maybe when we were testing it initially, it was like between maybe drive and neutral, which can cause some damage to the transmission. So luckily we use Randy's transmissions. Those guys are, really good at taking care of their customers. So we reached out, we're like, hey, we have an issue. And Colton over there was actually trying to arrange something so he could have gotten it done last night. Unfortunately, that didn't work out. So we'll work with those guys. We'll get the transmission all fixed up. Side piece isn't done. She's about to be better than ever, honestly. We're very, very excited for Diesels in the Mountains, which is our next big event.
As much as we are super disappointed that Side Piece is not hitting the rollers this weekend, we were really excited to see what kind of numbers she was going to push. I think for both of us, the most disappointing thing is that we didn't get to see you guys, our community. We have absolutely loved building this entire truck on live and being able to meet so many wonderful, wonderful people. There were two people that stand out right now, Elijah and Jared, that were driving between 9 and 18 hours to come see Side Piece. Jared, who's a young man, he has been watching our lives for a while. He's gonna be driving 18 hours, and Wes on the live said, you know what, if you're gonna drive that far, you're gonna drive in the truck. So he was super excited. He told us on one of the lives like a week ago, like, I've got my fire suit and my helmet already next to the door. Like, he was super, super, super stoked. So I think that is the more disappointing thing for us, is that we weren't able to hang out with you guys, to see you guys. That really is the highlight of all of these shows, is to see you guys.
So Elijah was the other one, right? That was taking the long trip. Elijah was the other one that was going to be coming out and hanging out with us, driving pretty far. And I remember him telling the story that he had to bribe his wife to be able to let him go to the event. So he ended up getting her a set of wheels for her SUV to be able to come to the event. So Elijah, I am so sorry that we are not there. Hopefully the wheels are transferable to another event. Be like, hey, I didn't get to see him at the Daily Driven event. Can I use my wheel ticket to go to the Diesels in the Mountain event?
And a special message to Elijah's wife. Thank you so much for letting him come and giving him permission to come. And I invite you to come with him to the next one. We would love to meet both of you guys.
100%, absolutely. And Deb can tell you, she didn't want to do these at the beginning either, but they're actually super fun. Like, I encourage everybody to get out. Any car event, car people are amazing. So whether it's, you know, drag racing, diesel truck stuff, tractor pulls, like
Jeeping events.
Yeah, Jeeping. You do a lot of those too. We just haven't been doing them lately. But the people are always amazing. The automotive community as a whole are amazing people. So get out there, enjoy the events. It's well worth it. So stay tuned. Side piece is definitely not done. Anybody that was coming to the event to see us, I apologize profusely. I know you guys, a lot of you are traveling very far, and it absolutely breaks my heart that we're not there. We absolutely love spending time with you guys. It's honestly the best part about this whole Beaman Builds journey, is hanging out with you guys and hearing all your cool stories and your trucks and, you know, what you think Side Piece is going to do next. It's so fun sharing all that with you. So I'm looking forward. Hopefully you guys can make it out to Diesels in the Mountains, those of you that were traveling, and obviously those of you that are local too. And we'll have an amazing time. We will be hitting nitrous 100% at Diesels in the Mountains, and Side Piece is going to impress a lot of people. I can't wait.